Google's inclusion of Core Web Vitals as a ranking signal in their search algorithm is just around the corner. But is it something that you should be concerned about for your websites? No. But yeah, not really. Kind of. Sort of. So I'm not going to explain all the details of Core Web Vitals in this video. If you're not familiar with Core Web Vitals, you can check it out yourself. A good source here is web.dev. The website there, you'll find it. But what Core Web Vitals is a set of metrics that the Chrome team, the Google Chrome team, came up with to measure user experience. The Google search team liked them so much that they decided they wanted to make them a part of the search algorithm. Last year, Google announced that it would be included in the search algorithm as a ranking signal. A few months ago, they announced that that will officially happen in May. So in May, it'll be included as a ranking signal. A lot of people are really kind of getting obsessed with this and getting their sites in line with what Google's looking for in Core Web Vitals. And people are spending a ton of time. I know there's a lot of kind of shady web developers out there who are scaring people about their websites, telling them that in May you're going to see drastic ranking shifts if you don't comply with what Google's looking for. And none of that is true. When this launches, it's going to be a very minor ranking signal at best. It's not going to be a penalty. It's going to be very similar to what we saw with HTTPS and the SSL update, or Mobilegeddon, the last page speed update. It's more of a positive that if you do comply with the Core Web Vitals, you may see a small, very, very slight boost, but it's not going to be a negative type thing where they're penalizing or pushing sites down the rankings who don't meet these guidelines. Now, why do I say it's not going to be a major ranking factor? Because if you look through the web and you look through search results, you'll see the majority of websites right now in really popular searches, really competitive searches, all kinds of searches. You'll see the majority of websites out there right now are missing out on Core Web Vitals. They're not hitting the marks, and some of them are not even remotely close in highly competitive searches. Google's objective is every time they do any kind of update, whether it's a small tweak they're doing day by day or a major algorithm update, their objective is always to refine the search results and just kind of improve them a little bit. It's never to throw everything into chaos and just have everything jumbled up and have the SERPs look completely different the day after they launch a major update. It's just kind of tweak things a little bit, improve things a little bit here and there. I'm going to show you some examples, and you can go through any searches you want, and you'll see very similar results across the web. But I picked out some searches that are highly competitive, some really popular searches too, and I just pulled the top 3 ranking sites for each of these searches. So for example, this is top SEO companies. I did a search and I pulled the top 3 websites, which were clutch.co, and we ran them through to look at their Core Web Vitals. Their page performance is terrible. Their Core Web Vital scores are a mess, still ranking number 1. Neil Patel was ranking number 2. Again, he's missing 2 of the 3 Core Web Vitals. His scores are terrible. Next was Ignite Visibility. They were the only one that looked pretty good, but they are still missing 1 of the Core Web Vitals. Next search I did was search for top project management tools. Site that's number 1 is Core Web Vitals again. Awful. Site that's number 2 is ClickUp.com. Absolutely terrible. Largest contentful paint was over 23 seconds. Proof Hub was the site ranking number 3. Fails in all 3 of them. Next search I did was Outriders, which is a popular video game that's launching in April. And today they just released a big demo. So it's something that's getting searched a lot. The website for the game itself, Core Web Vitals, are awful. Second ranking page was a page on Steam. Again, awful. And then it was PlayStation was ranking number 3, and awful. And then probably the most competitive term, other than maybe SEO companies, and actually this is probably even more competitive, I did a search for buy term life insurance and took the top 3 sites. Site that's number 1 is NerdWallet. Their scores are pretty bad. They're close on the largest contentful paint, but they're terrible on the other ones. Look at Geico, ranks number 2. Again, terrible scores. They hit the cumulative layout shift, but that was it. And then the last one was Policy Genius, which is a really popular insurance site, and they miss on 2 of the 3 also pretty badly. They hit the cumulative layout shift though. And you can do these kind of searches throughout. Just pick any search you want, any search that you have your websites in. Pick out competitive search terms that you can think of. You can legal terms, health terms. It's just across the board. You'll see the same thing. You don't even have to go to the top 3. You can go top 5, top 10, and you'll see that most of the sites are nowhere close. Not only are they missing these targets, a lot of them are nowhere close on them. And again, Google doesn't want this update to roll out and completely wipe out the SERPs and change who's ranking everywhere. The whole goal of the update is going to be just to, and they do this with every update, just going to be to refine the results a little bit, make them a little bit better. Now, does that mean that you should just completely ignore Core Web Vitals and forget about it? In the beginning of the video, I kind of gave mixed answers on that. I don't think it's going to help you, hitting, if you do get your site in line with Core Web Vitals, it's not the kind of thing that's going to take you from ranking at the bottom of page 1 to the top of page 1 for your primary keywords. It's not going to do that at all. You probably won't even notice a ranking movement, in fact. However, Core Web Vitals, they do correlate with user experience. They don't completely tell the tale of the user experience, but they do correlate with a positive user experience when people visit your site. A good user experience, of course, is going to be more sales, more leads generated, whatever the goal is of your website when people visit it. People will spend more time on it. People will visit more pages on it if they have a good user experience. So for that reason, I wouldn't say just completely ignore Core Web Vitals, because they do, again, correlate to a positive user experience. But it's not something you have to obsess about and really, really push yourself hard to hit these numbers before the update rolls out in May. Just make sure that your site loads fast, it loads quickly, clean, has a good user interface. You do those things and you're going to be fine.